Where you are in your life right now, how do you define success?
Success.
Have you achieved it? How do you define it? Have you achieved it?
No. So how I define it is any level of progression. That's it. And happiness.
So progression and happiness has to occur in order for you to achieve success.
Yes. But you
And you
don't
have
ever,
not.
because there's always more to get.
Okay.
Yeah, there's always more to get. And that's just in every aspect. So I'm a dad, I'm never gonna stop raising them. And I'm a brother, I'm a son, I'm a friend, I'm a cousin, I'm a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I have a job, I have, personal goals and aspirations. It's just like you never get to a point. If you get to a point where you can't grow anymore, then you might as well die. And I'm not dying no time soon, at least I hope not, But yeah, so success is progression and happiness. It's not just doing stuff because people say you should do it. Like I got a degree because my mom wants me to. Then you're missing the happiness part, you know. But yeah, just progression and happiness.
Okay, so if we take a snapshot, right? Just like 3 times in your life of where you felt like you have achieved a form of success, what would that look like? Or what
Um,
were those times?
well, it's three that's recent. Weight, my workout regimen, and all of that. Like overall, I've lost from like 215 to now 180, like two. So yeah, I lost all of that. So it's like 33 pounds or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big deal because I just thought I was going to be that size forever because I just wasn't doing enough activity and I wasn't moving, too much.
Right.
Um, I got completely out of debt. That was a big deal because that was a struggle for a very long time. I mean, well, it felt like a very long time, but it's just been through, since I've been divorced. So, almost 3 years now, but 2.5 at the time when I did get out of debt.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I felt like, man, this is great. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of creating a better regimen with my kids of just information outside of whatever they learned in school, trying to really see what they're interested in on their own, and I'm learning more and more and more, that I talk to them and just, make every second count, give them space. I don't want to like talk their whole time over here, with me up, but certainly try to, talk to them and get kind of a feel for who they are, growing into, because I just don't feel like not like I was ever like, a deadbeat, but I just, you can always be a little bit more attentive to your kids, and I feel like I'm hitting a stride um, with that, and my kids, they're responding, and they, I mean, I don't know how I could love them more, but I love them more. So I just think that that's the ultimate goal, at the end of the day, but yeah, that's it. Those three things are like the ones that like, you know, uh, like pop up in my head when I think about success. But then again, those things don't really have an end because even with the getting out of debt, well, I'm on to the next goal.
Right.
Like your goal should kind of have a next step. And with the weight, now that I lost the weight, now I want to bulk up, and everything I gain is probably going to be muscle. So I can't wait for that process because it's just it's necking this all next summer. So whatever.
You ain't listen, sir, you are
If
not
I
gonna
have
be
on,
out
if
here.
I have on clothes, that's because they made me.
Whatever. You ain't
They made.
there is no way. I will be very shocked.
I'm naked.
No.
Also, I'm naked
Mm-mm.
also. I just am. That's just what it's gonna be. So
I'm
yeah.
almost willing to put money on it. I'll see what happens at the end of the year, but I'm almost willing to put money on it that is not going to occur.
Hey, shirt off, shoulder. Shirt off, shirt off, shoulder. Me and J.R. Smith, shirt off.
No,
I'm not wearing the shirt, and already my pants is already tight. So, so that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. That's the next step. You know
I don't think. Okay, I mean,
you have to have goals.
I can see you're trying to starting early is good to convince yourself that you will be naked next summer. But let me tell you something. Just knowing you and the time that I've known you, I don't think that is a realistic goal that you should set for yourself, because you're going to be very disappointed when you realize that it's August and you've had a shirt on the entirety of summer.
I'm not going to have a shirt on. I'm not wearing a shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody say, that'd be the thing, you know, the motivation, and not motivation, you know what I'm saying? I have a real motivation, then I have like a petty motivation. I always have two. You know what I'm saying? The motivation be that people see my brother with his shirt off and they think he's the only one working. So I'd be like, all right.
No, you just quietly, like, anytime, if y'all go to Mike and Vince Perkins on Instagram, and you look at the workout videos, you see Vince doing a fool. You see Vince like with his shirt off, working out. Where's Mike? In the background, fully dressed, shorts, leggings, socks, sneakers, long sleeve tee,
a hoodie,
head down, putting in work. That is going to be Mike for the next year and a half.
That's no. Next year, June. I'm starting June 21st.
No.
June 21st. Shirt off.
Like, you just gonna have to prove me wrong, because I don't see it. I don't believe it. I don't think it's gonna happen. Knowing your personality, sir.
Right. I'm gonna debut it. It's gonna be a countdown and everything. Countdown to shirt off, shorty.
No, you're gonna be in there. Oh no, I don't think so. I just give me my long sleeve. No, just the light long sleeve. I'll wear a cardigan.
Who needs a long sleeve?
I will see you in a cardigan before I see you shirtless.
It's gonna be suns out, guns out. It's gonna be all pectorials and abdominal. That's gonna be. That's exactly what it's gonna be. Pectorials and abdominals. I put in enough work to do that. I deserve it.
You probably have, but I feel like you're not going to. So
I deserve it. I deserve at least 100. I deserve at least 150 likes.
And that's how you're gonna get it? Just out here naked on the gram?
Naked on the gram.
Oh,
family-based Facebook too.
That's a young kid's game. You too grown for this.
What? Young kids.
That's a young kid's game.
All right. Tell him. Tell Vince that. He ain't young.
He younger than you.
I mean,
yeah, he younger than you. Let him play that. You get your own lane.
He ain't that younger than me. We're a year apart.
That's okay. He's still younger than you. It
doesn't matter how much younger than me. So we'll figure it out. Come July, not July.
That's in his personality. That's not in your personality.
Oh well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'll make it.
I would love to be proved wrong, but I just feel like
I'm naked.
No, you're not.
I'm good. Instead of
you got wait. Do you have a long sleeve on right now?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
But it's 2 degrees outside though. It's Detroit.
But you're in the house.
Yeah, but it's still like I went outside and then I came back. So I had this on, and it's just what I have on. You know what I mean? But that's because
I have never not seen you in a hoodie.
I don't have on a hoodie today.
I've never not seen you in a long sleeve. Anytime, except that one time we recorded when you were in a tank. But other than that, hoodies and long sleeves. I don't think. Do you have any short sleeve shirts?
I do. I have a lot of.
That are not t-shirts.
Yeah,
not like undershirts.
I got polos. I got polo shirts. Yeah. I don't have like the dress shirts though. I think those.
No, I'm not talking about dress shirts. I'm not talking about dress shirts.
Polo shirts. I have a lot of polo shirts.
I don't know if I trust this.
Yeah, I do.
I
I
don't
do.
think.
I
I
was
don't
I
think
was in
so.
Houston. I had on polo shirts.
And you wasn't naked in Houston either. So
I was at the pool in Houston.
that was at the pool. Nobody goes swimming fully dressed.
Well, I was. We could have swam the whole time.
I have no comment.
Shirt off, shirt off, shout. I'm
I'm gonna
doing
let you keep. I'm gonna let you keep dreaming. When June 21st come around and you still in long sleeves, I'm gonna laugh
no,
so hard.
no. I'm
Yes.
gonna be shirtless. At least
No.
shirtless. I might not do the blue. I might not do the blue trunks like my brother. Might not do the blue trunks. I don't know how many.
That just goes with his personality. I
I
just
don't know
need
how
you
many likes
to.
I really want. I don't know if I want. I don't know if I want over 150. So I'll just stop. I won't go to the blue trunks.
No, I can't. I can't. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Take a Space Podcast. I am your host, Leah, and I am here, of course, with Mic Perkins. Thank you so much for coming back
No
and
problem.
joining me today. As you all have heard, Mike thinks that he is going to be naked next summer. If you haven't already, follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Mic Perkins, and follow him and his brother at Mike_and_Vince_Perkins on Instagram, and ORL podcast. Is it pod or podcast?
Podcast.
So let me finish. I know these things.
Okay,
Just let me do my intro. You just ruined the whole rhythm.
You got it. I'm sorry.
See, look, see, when I try to help people out, this is what happens. This is what happens, people. But on Twitter, it's RL Podcast. Make sure that y'all go and look at these pictures, go look at these videos, and you will see Mike is never not covered up. You barely see his face. He might as well just like be Quasimodo in the tower. Like there's no skin whatsoever, even all summer. Just go back and look at them. You don't have to like all of them, but just go back and be like, hey, Mike, you're still dressed in this picture. You're still dressed in this picture.
You are correct.
But somehow next summer he's gonna be naked.
Nakedness. All day. That's what I'm doing.
It's a nice dream. I like that you have dreams. It's good, I guess.
I gotta do it. I gotta step out of my shell. Or clothes.
Yeah. No. So I saw that you recently posted about an hour ago that you and your sons were reading the question and answer section of Dr. Claude Anderson's Powernomics.
Powernomics is the Black History Reader. That book from the Powernomics packet. It's the packet has 5 books in it. Dirty Little Secret 1 and 2. Dirty Little Secrets 1 and 2. Powernomics, the actual book. Black Labor, White Wealth, and the Black History Reader. And since I had read it, I was just like, why don't I let my son join in and get some of this pro-blackness up in him.
Okay, so I know you talked about like being more attentive as a dad and all of that greatness, and it's good because even when people were like, hey, where you at? You haven't been on Twitter, and you're just like, no, when I have my kids, like I'm ghost, like I'm with my kids, that's it. How important do you think your role is in teaching them things like finance, things like manners, things like professionalism as their dad?
Well, I mean, a little bit. I guess a little bit of it is ego, and I'm trying to like get that out of it as much as possible because I don't want another man teaching my kids, right? Mm-hmm. Especially if I'm not sanctioning, him to be the one. Like, okay, teach him this because I don't know it. Like, then I'm fine with it. But it's important that it be me because I'm their example of a man. Just regardless. So even when my kids are not necessarily watching me, I have to be mannerable. I have to be, presentable. I have to be professional. I have to be, just, a good person, disciplined, consistent. I have to be these things because when they come around, I can't just turn it on,
Mm-hmm.
because like me and my kids, we run, from time to time, they run with me. I can't just run when I see them because then I won't be able to run and I'll be out of breath. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and it's important because again, I'm just their example. You know what I mean? When they gesture, the way that they laugh, the slang or stuff that they use, like it's all me. So I'm knowing that they're observing me. So I have to really, just be, I have to be as good as possible. And as far as like teaching them certain things like finance or, manners, anything of that nature, like it's just important because they have to do this thing on their own, eventually. It's just gonna be them, and like all of the plans that I have, all the plans that I have, like the financial goals, the health goals, anything else, it seems like it always goes back to them. Like when I was thinking about, a house, I was like, man, okay, so what I can do is I can buy a house and then, pay it off quick, get them in it, you know what I'm saying? By that time they'll be old enough. And then once they're old enough to like pay rent, have them in it and then have them understand what rent means, have them understand what utilities are and taking care of a household in a safe space. Because I'm their dad, I'm probably not going to evict them. So, but have them doing those things as like a dress rehearsal in a safe space where they don't have to worry about anything but learning it,
Right.
and it's real important because like I said, it's nothing like learning from somebody who actually cares that you know the information and they're not just going through the motions. That's also why it's important that I do it because I'm invested in them knowing it. Like they're my kids. I mean, like I said, I try to take the ego out of it. You know what I mean? I want them to be the best versions of themselves, but like my ego suggests that like I don't want my kids to be behind other kids. Like I want my
Yeah.
kids to be. Everybody wants their kid to be at the head of their class. Everybody wants their kid to be the most popular or whatever. And I still feel those things, but I really want those things to be for them. Like just Saturday I took my oldest son to his first homecoming. He's in the ninth grade, just started high school. So I take him there. His mom wants me to take a lot of pictures. Now he expressed the whole day that he doesn't want to be embarrassed. Sometimes I embarrass him, and I was like, "When have I embarrassed you?" Like I really want to know because if I have, I won't do it again. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to. I understand him. Like I know what he means when he says embarrassed. Like anything that makes him anxious, makes him a little, indecisive. Like he doesn't want to feel like he's not in control of the situation, and I get it. So he's there, and his mom wants me to take a lot of pictures, but he's expressing that he don't really like pictures like that. He don't really do that. He just want to hang with his friends. So I took a couple pictures in the beginning to kind of like just, look, this is just for your mom. Like, understand this is just for you. He's like, okay. He put on this little mask because it was a Halloween theme, you know, uh, homecoming because they couldn't really have like the games and all that stuff because of COVID. So we took a couple pictures and then I said, look, if you want me to just go and head back to the car, leave you to your, leave you to yourself and let you just mingle, I'll do that. And he said, okay. And then he did that and he hung with a few people, He met new people, and had a good time. And then when it was time to go, he came back. He said, Dad, I had a really great time. That's it. That was all for him, and like I feel like when it's all for them, and they get to win, that becomes the gratification. And I don't even want to I try to detach myself from it as much as possible and say, as long as he won, that's good, and try to like take myself out of it saying, yeah, I'm the one who did this and made sure. Like I don't want, because it's gonna get to a point where he's 17 and 18 and 20, and it's gonna be less and less about daddy, so yeah, it's important. Just like I said, it's just important because they have to be safe, they have to be progressive, they have to be disciplined, they have to be all of these things that I just don't think I got early, and I didn't get it from my dad. you know, like I would have, I mean, looking back, like I would have hoped, you know. So, I mean, I just kind of want to change that as a legacy too, you know, just more legacy things and just, yeah. And my kid, like I said, and my kid, I just, like I say, I don't know how I could love them more, but it's just like every day something happened. It's just like, man, I really love these little kids. I really do love them. Dang, you know,
Well,
but
I mean, that was going to be my next question of how does your parenting now differ from, because there are some things that we let go of and things that we hold on to as far as the relationships we have with our parents and what we've gained from our parents and what we pass down to the kids that we are in charge of, like these children that you have produced and now you have to make them productive members of society. You know, how what are some ways that you're like, I don't like what they did, so I'm going to do something different, or I really like this about my parents parenting and I want to bring this down through the legacy.
Well, a couple things that my mom did was she taught us about money in her way, right? So she got us like bank accounts really early. I think I was probably like not really early, but I think I was like 14 when I had a bank account. Um, I think like it was probably 13 because it was around like my first job. So 13, I had a bank account, and I still had a bank account today, so which is cool. Um, the so that my mom was unafraid to ask questions that she didn't know. I think that that's a really big thing. You know, she didn't really have an ego about, saying not knowing something. She would ask somebody. If she didn't know, she would go and ask somebody and do that. My mom put us in like everything. So we always played a sport. We always, had an instrument, and we had other extracurricular activities too. I was a part of this thing called academic games. I don't know if they have it in North Carolina or wherever, but we had this thing called academic games that I was a part of. She really pushed us to like be in those kind of things, stuff that piqued our creativity, stuff that piqued our our like our certain interests and everything. So those things are good. I think the thing that I really want is like physical punishment. You know what I mean, like whoopings. You know what I mean, like that immediately was just like a turn off. I was just like, I don't want to do that to my kids. But for the most part, my mom was really good. You know what I'm saying? As far as my dad goes, like he just wasn't around enough. So I can't really, you know, I mean, I was already going to be better than him at this thing. You know what I'm saying? Fathering and whatnot. I was already going to be better than him by the mere fact that I'm just going to be, you know, not just in my kid's life, but just raise them. A lot of his practices were fear based. So it's just you do it or I'm going to do this to you. And not that he ever, because I can count. It's probably only one time I remember getting actual whooping from him. My dad wasn't really violent toward me. He was always a good time, or anything like that. But he just wasn't. It wasn't enough of him around. So of course I would change that as well. But I would keep the always a good time. Not really violent toward me. I never felt like he didn't overly put me down. Like some stuff I felt like he was putting me down, but it really wasn't that. He just wanted me to be better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like I had pretty, like for the time that my dad did spend, he was a good dude. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't bad. I just wish he was around more. And then my mom, like I say, aside from like whoopings, of which she didn't really whoop us all that much either. You know what I'm saying? But I would never do whoopings at all. And just too, like I think it's a lot of stuff that my mom just didn't know, so she couldn't teach us. Or she didn't know that she didn't know. I'll put it like that. Like some of the stuff about finance that I know now, it's just like, well, I didn't know that. So now that
Right,
I know it,
right.
I can actually give it to my kids. And if I don't know, I know that I don't know. Because the certain stuff I had no clue. I didn't have the right questions to even ask. So, but definitely just building upon the taking ego out of it and asking questions. Certainly want to keep that. putting them in some of everything to see what piques their interest. Definitely want to keep that. Always trying to be a good time, having my kids, really enjoy themselves and be happy, around me. That's always good, and I don't know, just building upon those things. I mean, those are like broad things, but like if you build upon them and just kind of make them your own, then you can, I don't know, hopefully you stack up to be a really good parent, or at least serviceable, I mean, I always say that I'm an average parent because I don't really know how the grade goes. I think your grade is your kids, right? So if your kids end up being murderers or something like that, I don't know. I don't think you could call yourself a good parent. Like, I was a good parent.
I mean, I don't know. I can't blame every bad child on the parents. Like,
but you can't be a good parent with bad kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
It's because it's only your kids are the grade, not you. You know what I'm saying? You're not the grade. You don't get to say, "Well, I did everything right." Well, okay.
No, it's not even that I did everything right. I just did everything that I could, and
everything that you could is still you can't now. You could be a not so good parent, but I don't think that grading parenting is condemning you. Like, because I think that either you're active or you're inactive. Really, that's the grade for me. Either
so it's a pass or fail as far as parenting.
It's pass fail.
Okay.
Yeah, either you're doing it or you're not.
So how do you handle mistakes? Do you apologize to your kids? Like, what makes you, because especially the generation prior,
yes,
a lot of them don't apologize.
No,
they just
like
let's go get something to eat, it'll be fine.
Right. You want some ice cream? Yeah. Daddy must have been wrong.
Right. So what do you think that you teach them by apologizing, and how do you handle the missteps or the mistakes that you do with them, like whether it's purposeful or on accident?
So, like I said, I do apologize. You asked, why do I apologize? Did you ask that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, the reason is because I want to let them know that you don't get 30 or 40 and then you're never wrong. Because that's what I thought. I used to think that. My dad would be the wrong, and he just wouldn't apologize. He would explain it. And so I would think that, okay, cool, adults are just not wrong. Because somehow, and it's mostly because they have the words to express themselves to make them be right. It's more so that, I mean, like, if you can articulate yourself, you can make yourself right all the time, but right. They would always find a way to kind of make themselves, or my dad, for example, would always find a way to make himself right. So it's like, my mind is that, okay, 30, 40-year-olds or whatever, they're never wrong. They're doing it. If they're doing it, it must be right. And then when I got 20, and I used to think that about 20-year-olds, I was like, well, nah, because this 20-year-old is jacked up. And then when I got 30 and I had to really figure out, I'm like, oh, yeah. So they're all kind of just winging it. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So it's just to let them know that adults can be wrong too, so that if in fact they're around an adult, that they can know the difference. Like, some adult can't just tell them something and then they say, oh yeah, because they're an adult. It's just like, if it's wrong, if you think it's wrong, go with your gut. Go with your gut, and just that'll, at least for me, that makes them safer. To let them know, hey, sometimes daddy is wrong, sometimes he messed up, he missteps. As far as like, what else did you ask? I'm sorry, I just
how do you handle the, aside from apologizing, how do you handle those mistakes? How do you handle those missteps that you do? I know some, like you talked about your dad purposely picking on you because he wanted you to be better. or and I think a lot of dads do that. Like that's their go-to. But how do you handle like when you talk about your son, not wanting to be embarrassed, not wanting to be put in a predicament? How do you handle, towing that line of like, I need to push you. So you're gonna have to be uncomfortable to where, okay, I've pushed you too far, and now that was my fault. I probably should not have pushed you that much.
I like to say, treat people how you feel about them. Like I tell my sons that I'm probably a lot of times I'm not gonna be super complimentary because I'm not really good with receiving compliments a lot of
No,
times.
you're not. You're terrible at it. You are terrible at it. Yes.
So
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are
really
terrible
good
at
at
it.
receiving them. So I ultimately am not good at giving them. And
Mm-hmm.
I need to be better with that. But I will treat you how I feel about you. So that if I think you're responsible enough, I'll give you the responsibility. If I it's the analogy I always use. Like if I think you can play basketball, then when I'm going to play basketball, I'm gonna call you. Like, hey, come along, so we can hoop. So I'm gonna treat you the way that I feel about you. If I don't feel like you can handle something, and I'm probably not gonna give it to you. If I think you're doing a good job, then I'm probably gonna ask you to do it again because you did a good job. And I'm gonna push you because I want you to be better. And it's just like treating them consistently like that. Like the first time, and I don't know if I said this to you, I've told this story enough times, but me and my son, the first time that we ran 2 miles, he had to stop. You know what I mean? He had to stop because he had never ran 2 miles, or 1 mile, I think, you know what I mean, at that time. I think he might have ran 1 mile before, but he hadn't ran two. So he had to stop and he walked a few. I was like, that's not a problem. It's your first time doing it. You're not gonna come off the couch and then run 2 miles. The next time though, he did run it and he ran the 2 miles and he ran it the whole way. And he was like celebrating to himself, like, yeah, you know what I mean? And it was like I almost cried. Really, I don't know if he knew that, but it was just like him being proud of himself in that moment. It's just like that's what it is. Like that's why I'm gonna, and I have to explain to him. That's why I push you because, like, now you can do this. So now we can move on to 3 miles. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna have to push you in order for you to be able to do that, and not push you like you better go, but you can do it. And I'm gonna treat you like you can do it. I'm not gonna treat you like you can't. I'm gonna treat you like you're able to do it. You know what I mean? Like he made, burgers and fries yesterday. He put the patties together. He got the broccoli and did all that. I treated him like he could do it. I mean, I checked in on him, but not really much. And I just treated him like he could do it. And just I believe in you. Just go ahead and do it. With the homecoming and everything. Hey, look, I know you know how to talk to people and make friends. Go ahead and do it. Just treating them how I feel about them so that I don't have to be all good job, baby. You're the best son. Like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? That's just, to me, it becomes corny as a parent to do that. You know what I mean? Like like reading the book that we're reading, like it's some big words, it's some huge words in there. Words I got to look up myself, but I'm reading it with him and I feel like he's able to understand it. I treat him like I feel about him. And, when you treat your kids like how you feel about them, then it sort of takes a lot of the having to say it out of it. Like I don't have to say how I feel about you. I'm treating you that way. So you kind of know, and it's just instilling confidence in them and making them, raising competent and confident kids. And again, I want him to be able to celebrate to himself all the time, just like, yeah, I did it. That, like I said, that filled me up. I didn't even know I needed that until he did it. I was like, man, I needed that. I needed to see that. I needed to see that my son is like, he's happy with himself. He's proud of himself. So yeah, just that's that.
So, and not saying that it never happens, because I am the type person you can, for instance, if if I do something, because your whole, and correct me if I'm wrong, your whole idea about this is to, if I do something well, you would give me the task again to prove, or to show that you trusted my ability to do it. Correct?
Mhm.
And some people are like, oh snap. Some people may look at that though and say, well, why are you giving this to me to do? Why are you giving this to me to do it again? And they were like, can I get a kudos? Can I get, like, did you like it? Can you give me some feedback? Because and this is just me, and I don't know. I can't say that it's a girl thing because I think guys are like that too. Just like wanting feedback. Like, it's not a all hail great Leah, for making broccoli and zucchini or whatever. But like, I don't even know where zucchini came from. I don't really care for it. But having to kind of have that feedback of just like, no, like, I really like what you did, or I really like the way you did this. Not where it's like an overly praise, like, of this thing or this person, but just little air, put a little air in your tires, like, hey,
Yeah,
good job. I like it.
I'm with that as well, but I'm more on the end of the way that I do it because I feel like it has a longer shelf life. Like it lasts longer. The way you treat people and the way people feel about you, or the way you make people feel, it lasts longer than the words that you say, right? So I'm gonna tell them, obviously I'm gonna tell them good job. Like, if it's
That's not obvious based on the conversation we just had. That was not obvious.
Right. I'm gonna tell them good job from time to time, right? But I think also too, the reason I don't want to do it is because I don't want them to need it. I don't want them to need me saying good job, because I'm not gonna be there all the time. Sometimes it's just gonna be them, and I want them to be able to discern or understand what a good job is. How it feels to push yourself, how it feels to get from 2 miles to 3 miles. Figuratively speaking, of course, and how it is to finish a book. Maybe I finished. They both finished lots of books, but how it is to just read up a level. To have some information that maybe your friends don't have, to have a talking point or some discussion, about this thing. I just feel like they need to know that on their own, because I can't give them success. I can't give them progression. I can't give them good job. I can't give them that. But if they can feel it, and sort of, create that in their lives, then they don't need me for it, because I don't want, I like that they need me. You know what I'm saying? It makes me feel good, but it's gonna come a point where needing me shouldn't really, it shouldn't really exist like that. You know what I mean? I guess on some level they always need me. I'm their dad, but like, not need me the way that they needed me 10 years ago. 10 years later. So that's why I do it. I lean more toward that way. Of treating them how I feel about them, as opposed to, just saying, hey, great job or whatever. And again, I don't think it's corny. I just think it's corny coming from me, because I don't do it.
Once you learn how to accept compliments, sir, I feel like
I'll
it'll
be
be
better
like,
at it.
yeah, because you're terrible at accepting compliments.
I am. But this is just, and it's stupid. You know what I mean? And I got to get better with it. Just period. But every time somebody compliment me, I feel like it's something behind it. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
What do you think someone would try to get from you giving you a compliment?
Man, like, it's mostly girl stuff. Like, it's mostly girl stuff. So girls compliment me, sort of. It makes me anxious. Are we recording?
Yes, like, what do you like? I'm trying to understand. So how does compliments lead to anxiety? You can't just say, "Oh, thank you." You do this whole like, "Oh."
Right, because because I've been treated that way. How about that? I've been treated that way.
So women just randomly come to you at the gas station
No,
and
I
just
mean,
be
well,
like,
yes, but not women that come to me at the gas station. Women who are close to me, women who are in a relationship with me, that kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? And like when you get that, a couple like with women, if the guys that you've dealt with have treated you away, then I mean, I think logically you understand that all guys are not this way, but your emotions haven't caught up to what the logic is in order for you to actually think that. So I know that all women are not trying to get something from me, and I'm not talking monetary or anything like that. I'm just talking about they have an end goal that is not about me. It's like, let me compliment this guy to get to the next step. And not to say that all women are like that, or most, or whatever. I don't have a percentage. I don't know, but I just know that
the numbers man does not have numbers. What?
no, I don't. I have any numbers. But
What?
I'm just saying that, right. I'm just saying that I've been treated that way, and it makes me uneasy.
In your adult life.
In my adult life, it is
And so because
as recent as a month ago.
somebody gave you a compliment just
No,
so you can
I
give
mean,
them a ride.
I'm trying to speak around stuff because she got eyes everywhere. Shoot, I be trying to speak around my kid's mom because it's like eyes everywhere. You gonna have me in court when this pandemic over. That's what you're gonna do. But no, it's compliments to get to a ultimate goal. It's a means to an end.
So how do you differentiate? Because you know when somebody is not giving you an authentic compliment.
Well, this is the thing. Is the treatment matching the compliment?
In person?
Say it again.
In person?
Yeah, in person.
Okay, so go ahead.
Yes. So if you honestly think I'm smart, right? There has to come say it again.
I'm listening.
Oh yeah. If you honestly think I'm smart, then there comes a time when you have to treat me like I'm smart. You have to like you can't keep saying, "Oh, this person's just so smart." Oh, don't do that. Don't touch that. Don't like you can't keep jumping in front of everything I'm trying to do, stopping me from doing it when you think I'm so intelligent and so you know what I mean. I have so much common sense and street or whatever you think about me. You can't think I'm a good cook and then you're always in the kitchen saying, "I don't. That's you got that on too high. I want to turn that down a little lower." Like if you think I'm the thing, treat me like I'm the thing. We treat people who are funny, we treat them like they're funny. Like, we listen attentively, we like he about to say something. Go ahead and say the funny thing, like we treat people how we feel about them. And enough times I'm waiting for that treatment, but it doesn't happen. And I'm never like, disappointed at anything. It's just, all right, cool. You didn't really think the thing, and now that I didn't give you all my time, and I, then spent $100 on this date.
Oh Lord. I can't.
Now that I've done that, and it's a means to an end, it's all
Well,
good.
I feel like the compliments that I give are pretty genuine.
I feel so too, but it's like you have to understand that I get 100 the other way, so
I mean, but why are they weighted the same?
They're not weighted the same. Again, it's not that you're not genuine. It's just that I have to get out of the practice of reacting to it as if it's not genuine. You know what I mean? Like as if
Okay, so
it is.
let's put this to practice. Because I'm trying to think of a compliment I haven't given you yet.
Okay. I'm about to whatever sound you say I make. It's about to happen. You go.
Let's see. A compliment that I haven't given you yet. I think I've complimented you.
Yeah, fresh out of compliments. That's okay.
First of all, don't do me. Okay, I've complimented you plenty, and you just
fresh out of compliments.
it just makes you blush, and then you don't, and then you're just like,
I'm just dark skinned.
okay,
You think I'm blushing,
sir. I was just like, yeah, you're very articulate, and I like the way you put arguments together, and you're just like, yeah, okay.
you making me into a schoolgirl. We're recording.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm trying to understand where this whole compliment, like all this, like.
I don't, and that's another thing too. I don't want to need it. You know.
But you can still say, I appreciate you for noticing that.
I appreciate you for noticing that.
It's all, and just move on. Like you don't have to get all like all that you're doing just right there.
Just right here.
Yeah, all that you don't have to do all that look away and just like no eye contact and
no eye contact.
Let me
all shucks and the whole nine. No. But again, just thank you. Every compliment that you've ever given me, thank you. I appreciate it.
I've treated you like the compliments I've given you.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like because most of my compliments are about your intelligence, but and sometimes lack of perception, but that's okay. Some of the compliments are backhanded, but it wouldn't be me.
They're all backhanded.
They're not. They're
all backhanded. They're all a means to an end, and so you can get to the part where you be like, bam.
I've given maybe 3 backhanded compliments
in your hand. Look at it. Are you sure? You looking at it? Bam.
I have given you 3 backhanded compliments.
3?
3.
Yeah, your number is low.
3, because it was it was 3. It was 3 backhanded compliments that I gave you, but all the other compliments very genuine. Didn't get anything out of them, just to make somebody else blush. That's it. Because I know you just don't like compliments. You're just like, I was like, oh yeah. Even when I said, I would love to record with you. Let's go ahead and record. I said, yeah, because you're intelligent, easy on the eyes, your hair is coming together, your beard's connecting, and then you just like, oh, see all that? You see that? You see that face?
Hey man, look, man. Honestly, like I talk trash. I'm a modest dude. Like I don't deal with it well. I'm sorry. That's another thing.
And this is why he will not be naked come next summer, y'all.
No. That's so that whatever compliments that I get, I know that it's a real thing. Because I know it's a real thing.
Okay.
Yes. I'd be like, well, they said that. And I don't have, and again, a compliment in comments is different from a face-to-face compliment.
Look, sir.
Because like when I had, like for instance, when I had the bun for like a day.
That was a whole day situation. I thought that was
one day.
I thought that was
my brother peer pressured me right out of that. He just got me right out of it.
You don't need it in your life. I just want you to know you don't need that in your life.
Yeah, I don't need that. I need better people. He peer pressured me out of it.
I'm glad Vince did that.
Which is funny because he was like, "Where's the bun?"
He's like, "I need some more jokes."
Yeah, he was like, but the thing is that it wasn't like, oh, the bun was a hit, but like nobody made a big deal about it. And most people were like, oh, like that's just, if he got that long enough hair to do it, then that's fine. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny because it was a lot of dudes whose, hairline is, their hair is left.
You and this hairline. Oh my God.
I mean, like, look, this is just genetics for me. I'm not like super proud of it or like.
Yes, you are. I'm
happy about it. Trust, I'm happy.
You're so proud of your hairline. You are so.
But the thing, it's just like, look, if I don't have hair, I'm not going to talk about hair decisions that people with hair make. Because I don't have hair. I have people from my high school talking about my hair, like, it's just like now you got ponytails and you wearing purses now, and just like, my man, like, chill out. You know what I'm saying? You can't insinuate them. You can't do that to a grown man online. Like, I gotta see you eventually. You know what I'm saying? You gonna say that without your fist balled? What do you think this is? And all these people are from Detroit, right? So they should know better. Like, you think come on, man. You're not gonna insinuate I'm feminine online and I gotta see you. This pandemic is only gonna be for a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? So can I fight? Yeah. That's a prerequisite for Detroit. Yeah, prerequisite. Now, I will say that my record for fights is not like, 1,000,001. I'm not Floyd Mayweather, but my record is a good, I'm good half and half, you know what I'm saying, on fights, which is a good record. Which is a good record. And
I'm quite enough to have a record, so.
Say it again.
I'm quite enough to have a record. I talk my way out of stuff, so I don't need to get physical.
All of my fights happened in middle school for the most part. So from like,
so you haven't even had like an adult.
No, I've had some adult fights, but like the bulk of my fights have been in middle school. I didn't have any fights in high school, like in the high school, you know what I'm saying? Like any fight that I did have was like with my brother, like my older brother or my younger brother. And then like when I got to college, I had I think 4 fights in college. One I lost. One I got tossed around. And then the other, like 2 of them was I'm the only one that got a punch off. So I won. You know what I'm saying? And then another one was kind of like a wrestling thing. You know what I'm saying? So it was, I guess I could say it was a tie. He may have thought he got the best of me. I may have thought I got the best of him. But all these people are from Detroit, though. You know what I'm saying? One from Saginaw. But the Saginaw guy was just bigger than me and he won. So, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what. I mean, okay, being from Detroit actually has no bearing on any of the.
Hey man, look.
I just know
if that doesn't mean anything to you, that's fine. Yeah. But I'm sure if people know that Detroit is like, it's bad here.
Yeah, it's so cold in the D. That's the only thing I know. Like, she was really at the cemetery. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, she's normal. Like, if I saw her, she wouldn't stand out. She wouldn't stand out. It's not like she's like, that's the only one. Like, nah, look at hers. The same coat, braids, the whole 9. It's like 1 million of hers. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, she's normal. She's normal. People think like, man, is she like, she different? Like, nah, she's not different. She's not different. All of these, like any Detroit rapper, like, T Grizzly, Sada Baby, they normal. You see them walking through Detroit, you'd be like, yeah, that's him, but it's about 30 of him right behind him because that's just how it is. Detroit's not, and I take that back. Detroit's not necessarily bad, but to not be able to fight and you're from Detroit, it's just like, just go to the burbs. Just go ahead, live in the burbs because you're not going to like. I smile too much to not know how to fight. Honestly, like I look like a mark. Like somebody gonna take something from you. They gonna, but you have to kind of know how to walk the back streets, so to speak. So yeah, like I don't do a lot of smiling when I'm just out. I mean, like, I have a mask on for the most part, but like absent the mask, like I don't do a lot of smiling when I'm out. I only smile when I'm comfortable. But yeah, that's a Detroit thing. Detroit, West Side. What?
Nothing. I got nothing. Yeah. I got nothing.
Cannot fight. Hands.
I feel like I would imagine you to be more of a scrapper, because like even though you're like 6 feet, you're not very stocky. So I would just imagine that you wouldn't be able to like pick somebody up and chuck them. Or I would imagine that you have reach, but your ability to land, like the accuracy may not be there. And that's just, That's just from my observation of you.
Like I said, my record is not, it's not Floyd Mayweather. It's probably like 50%. You know what I'm saying? It's probably 50%. But I'd have been jumped. So I'm not gonna, I can't win those. And I
No,
can't.
I'm not saying you got to win every fight. I just wanted to know, like, just like you said, can I swim? And I said, listen, how deep is the water? Because that's gonna determine my ability to be able to survive. Don't, yeah.
So no, you can stand.
Exactly. Just,
You can stand.
I can wade. There's a difference between just standing in the water and wading in the water.
What is wading?
Wading is like when it comes up to like your knees and you be like, hey, I'm with the kids and keeping the kids safe. And the water is like getting through them and all that. And then
standing.
No, standing is when the water comes up above your shoulders and you're just like, so we're just chilling in the water here and just walking back and forth.
But both of them, you're on your feet, right?
No, you don't have to be, because you can sit down in the one that comes up to your knees and you're still not fully submerged in water. You should, as a swimmer, you should know these different terms.
No.
So that you can actually be. You've never heard "Wade in the Water," children?
I've heard the song.
Wade in the water.
I've heard the song, but I'm saying like distinguishing the two. It's just,
because you can sit down in wading water. You can sit down and not be fully submerged.
That's just a dictionary thing.
If you're standing in water that is up to your shoulders, you can't sit down. You can float, dead or alive.
Can you float?
Can I float? Mm-hmm. I can float on my back. I can probably float on my stomach if I tried, but I like to breathe. So
swimming isn't even all that hard.
It's hard when you have a fear of being closed in.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that's worse than my thing with compliments.
Yeah. I can't, if I feel too tight, I can't. And just being underwater it's not fun to me. Like I need to be able to get out. And if I can't get out.
But you learn in 3 feet of water.
No, I tried. I'll tell you, I took swim lessons. I went to almost every pool party, got in the pool, everything. No, panic every time. Like I can go underwater, but I have to immediately stand back up.
No.
Yeah, I don't like being closed in. It's just everywhere you look, it's just water, 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 and then you have to be able to hold your breath, and then you have to remain calm and panic and nothing's going to happen. But then you see all these people rushing by. It's a lot going on.
Yeah. I mean, and water is, you can die, you can drown. So I mean, I get it. I wouldn't suggest you.
I wasn't even going to bring in that part. That part is not even relevant to this part of the discussion, because I don't plan on dying at the pool. My biggest thing is making sure I can get in and get out.
Yeah. Well,
I just don't like. I'm not saying that I'm claustrophobic, but close to it. I just don't like being.
That's hard. That's hard to be that and swim, though. I would imagine it's just hard to do that and swim. I guess I don't have that problem. I learned probably how to swim when I was 4, I think. So I don't think I've ever had. I didn't even have time to have that problem. You know what I'm saying?
Even my nieces and nephews, all of them, they're water babies, and I wasn't. So I don't trust the water. I don't.
They learn how to swim at, I think, 3 and 5. They got swim medals and all kind of swim meets and things of that nature. They learn early. You know what I'm saying? 3, like I said, 3 and 5. So just had to get them out there. And my youngest son was a machine. He used to get in the pool and just go zzz, and then just get out. Like it was, but he just didn't like it though. But he was great. He was great. I mean, like he would literally get in the pool because he's so like compact, and just he's little and muscly, he would just get in there, freestyle or backstroke or whatever, and he would just zoom through the water, beat all these longer, taller kids, and then just get out the pool like it was nothing. And then just like, but he just didn't like it. If he'd have liked it, he would have been crazy. Because I remember like the first swim meet that he went to, he had to beat the kids by a couple body lengths. And I'm just like how is it? And it's like, it was so crazy too, because his name was it was E. Perkins. I was just like, man, this is a big deal, man. Eventually you come down from the high of seeing your kid's name, up in lights or whatever. But like, it was like, this is a big deal. And they got his time up there and everything. It's like, wow, and then he gets a medal or whatever. It was just a big, but he didn't like it. We liked it, Yeah.
Well, he might come back to it. It may be his pastime.
Yeah, I mean, he may. I hope that he comes back to something. He says he wants to do like soccer, so whatever.
That's a lot of running.
It's a lot of running, but he's a very athletic.
If he's one of those, if he's one of those athletes that's just like get up and does stuff, because I don't have any claim to fame. I feel like my nieces and nephews are ridiculous with as much stuff as they do. Like they are runners and jumpers and swimmers and, oh my goodness, gymnasts and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, whew, y'all just, can y'all pick one thing? No, we're going to do all of them. Okay, go ahead and do all of them. That's cool.
Do all of them until you figure out which one you like.
Yeah. I'm just like, good grief.
Yeah, because, I mean, being good at a lot of stuff sometimes takes away from stuff. So
true.
Some of the greats only did one thing and one thing well. And it's just
that's actually been one thing that I'm probably going to talk about next time. People always want to be jack of all trades, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the full saying is jack of all trades, master of none, but better than the master of one. Which means that it's like you ask the question, is it better to be, would you rather be jack of all trades or just master of one? And a lot of people are just like, I really want to do just one thing really well. But if you can do everything kind of well, and you have other people who can come in and perfect it, like I have it, like I can say, since I'm a jack of all trades, like, yeah, we have a cure for cancer. It's not all that great, but we have a cure.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the people who are masters in it who can perfect it. But I would just, venture to say that being jack of all trades, I think that just means that you have a lot of transferable skills that you can use.
Mm-hmm.
And you just know how to use them, know how to level them up.
Yeah, I think though sometimes it takes away from your reps in a said field. If you're kind of spreading yourself thin on skills.
True.
It just takes away from your reps. It's hard to get 10,000 hours in something when you have to get 10,000 hours in something else, And if the things that you do are like similar, so like if you're, good at, carpentry, so then, that speaks to you being good with your hands. So then you start, working on cars or something like that. Like, whereas like you can kind of, transition into the next skill. I get that. I think that's always cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you play the piano and then you're like, okay, I understand music, so let me try saxophone or something like that. I think that that's cool. But just saying, oh, I can play the piano, so let me go and now write code for in a program. It's like
right.
maybe right. You know what I'm saying? But I'd rather you, get your 10,000 hours in or perfect. You know what I'm saying? The one thing. Not to say that you can only do, because some people can be great at multiple things.
Right.
It's rare though. it's rare. Like the people that we remember are probably just great at the one thing.
Yeah, but they use that one thing to open up so many avenues.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on this episode. I greatly appreciate you for being, open, talk about parenting, your time as a father and how you're growing and learning. And it's good to hear that you're taking more of an invested approach than I'm seeing a lot, because a lot of people are just social media parents. A lot of people are just assuming, my kids will learn it when somebody else teaches them, or whatever the case may be. I mean, you still see, and it's sad, you still see those parents who go up to the school and be like, well, how come you're not teaching my kid multiplication? How come you're not teaching my kid, X, Y, Z? If my kid doesn't know something, I think that, it's my responsibility as their parent to teach them, especially if it's going to enhance their life. But thank you very much. Let people know where they can find you.
They can find me. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Mic Perkins, MicPerkins. And then it's me and my brother, Mike and Vince Perkins. And that's Facebook and Instagram. And then ORL podcast, that's on Twitter. That's on Twitter. And most of the podcasts are like the visuals that you would see on Instagram and Facebook. So, and and then my punk ass podcast, that's Spotify. And I think that's it. That's all I got.
Well, thank you very much again. I have been your host, Leah. Thank you very much, Mike. Please follow us at takeupspacepod. That's takeupspacepod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We drop every Tuesday. If you haven't already, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and on our YouTube page, and wherever else people may want to join in and listen, all that good stuff. Thanks again. See you next week. Have a good one.